Today is Wednesday, Parashat Chukat. It's a question that was asked this week about fruit trees. You know, there are halachot, there are laws that govern the types of food that we're allowed to eat. And most everybody is, of course, familiar with not eating meat and milk together, and certain types of fish that are not allowed also. We eat only fish that have scales and fins. But there's another halacha also about fruits, that in the first 3 years of the tree being planted, when fruits come out on the tree, we're not allowed to eat them or benefit from them even. These fruits are called orla. And the halachot that have to do with that, we'll just go over a couple of them, because now it's summertime and there are fruit trees that are bearing fruits, whether it's apricots or plums or that type of thing. And if a person plants a tree, the first 3 years, any fruit that comes up on the tree, not allowed to eat. The 4th year, in the diaspora, we can partake from that food, from that fruit already on the 4th year. In Eretz Israel, the first 3 years we cannot eat the fruit. The 4th year, when Bet HaMikdash was present, then the fruits would be taken to Yerushalayim and eaten there. That's called neta reva'i. Or they would be redeemed, and then you can eat them anywhere. Nowadays, since we don't have Bet HaMikdash in Eretz Israel, the fruits of the 4th year from that tree would have to be redeemed before you can eat them. Now, redeem, in other words, you transfer like the holiness that was on the fruits to the coin of money. In Chutz La'aretz, in diaspora, there is no rule, there is no halacha regarding neta reva'i, because the fruits of the 4th year gain that sanctity to be able to be eaten only in Jerusalem or redeemed only in Eretz Israel, not in the diaspora. Now the question comes up, how do you count those 3 years? You count the 3 years from the moment that you planted the tree. What about if the tree was in a planter? If the planter has holes at the bottom, then it's considered to be already planted from the moment you put it in the planter. And then when you transfer it from the planter to the ground, you continue counting from the time that you planted in the planter. But if there is no holes at the bottom of the planter, then when you put it into the ground, that's when you start counting the 3 years. Now, by the way, the 3 years are not complete 3 years. If we planted a tree before the 15th of Av, then that period of time until the beginning of the month of Tishrei counts as 1 year, even though it was only maybe 45 days, because we give 2 weeks for the tree to start having roots in the ground. Then another 30 days would count as if it was a length of enough time to go through a year, so that there will be times where the 3 years are only 2 years and a month and a half, or 2 years and 3 months. Now what happens if you're in doubt? You can't really figure out when the tree was planted. Was the tree in the planter already for 2 years? Was it for 3 years? Was it maybe for 1 year? You can't figure it out. And you're in doubt. So here we deal in situations of doubt in a different way, whether you're in Eretz Israel or in the diaspora. In Eretz Israel, situations of doubt, in this kind of case, lechumra, we're strict. We don't use those fruits. We think maybe it's not 3 years are not up yet. In the diaspora, we're lenient, because in the diaspora, the rule is not as strict with fruits from a new tree that has been planted as in Eretz Israel. These are some of the laws that have to do with Orla. And if there are any questions, because this is a technical subject in some respect, don't hesitate to email or call with questions. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen.